Welcome to Gemara Academy. In this class, we will learn Tosfos Dibra Maschal, V'chi Tema Mehen L'chiyuv and Mehen L'ptur. Let's begin by first seeing what part of the Gemara Tosfos focuses on. If you look at the flowchart, you can see that it's at the point of the Gemara where we attempted to answer that the reason why our Mishnah counts 8 cases of Yitzias Shabbos and the Mishnah Masechta Shavuos counts 4 is because our Mishnah, being that it's the main place to discuss the topic of Shabbos, as a Masechta Shabbos, counts the Ovis and the Toldos, whereas the Mishnah Masechta Shavuos only counts the Ovis. However, the Gemara asked if the Mishnah Masechta Shavuos was really based on counting the Ovis, there would only be 2 cases, but it has 4, so clearly that's not what it's based on. The Gemara then addressed a possible question or answer somebody might want to give. Maybe the Mishnah Masechta Shavuos is based on counting the Ovis, and the reason why there's 4 cases and not 2 is because it's not only counting the Ovis that are chayiv, it's also counting those that are pater. Maybe it's mehen l'chiyuv and mehen l'ptur. There are 4 cases of haitzah, 2 that are chayiv and 2 that are pater. And the Gemara responded that can't be the case because the basis for the Masechta Shavuos is the Mishnah Masechta Shavuos is that it only counts chayiv. It does not count any cases that are pater. So that's what Tosfos is going to be focusing on the possible response one might give. That if you'll say it also counts the carrying to the outside that are pater, maybe it also counts haitzah that's pater. Let's begin with the general outline. In its first answer, the Gemara rejected the possibility that Masechta Shavuos counted Ovis and included in this the Ovis that are chayiv as well as those that are pater. What we're going to learn here in this class is Tosfos will point out that the cases that Rashi describes as Eitzah being pater, what are those cases? There's 2 chayiv, we know, the Ani doing Eitzah or the Balabai is doing Eitzah. The 2 that Rashi describes as pater isn't consistent with the explanation of Rashi himself later on. So let's begin. Rashi later on explains, we'll do this. We'll first present the Rashi and then we'll go through the Tosfos. Rashi later on explains that when the Balabais did the Akira, and he extended his hand outwards, and the Ani did the Hanacha. That's one case of Eitzah where they did it together. The other cases where the Balabais did the Akira, but the Ani took it out and did the Hanacha. Rashi says later on, and he also mentioned it on the Mishnah, that the person that the Mishnah is addressing and telling him it's Aser is the Balabais. And the reason is because the Balabais did the Akira, and the Akira is the one that could lead to the entire Malacha. So although they are both Aser, because they both did part of the Malacha, but the individual that our Mishnah is addressing is the Balabais, and the reason we put an extra focus on him is because he's doing the beginning of the Malacha, he's doing the start of the Malacha, and that could lead to the entire Malacha. Let's see the cases. We have the Balabais doing the Akira, and then the Ani taking it out and doing the Hanacha, and then we have the Balabais doing the Akira and extending it outwards, and the Ani doing the Hanacha. In both of those cases, according to Rashi, the focus is on the Balabais. However, Tosfos had a girsa of Rashi over here. In our Gemaras, we actually don't have this girsa, although it's there if you look into it, you'll see there's various girsas. When we learn the Rashi over here, it fits with the Rashi earlier and later. But Tosfos apparently had a girsa that didn't allow them to fit. When the girsa that Tosfos had of Rashi was actually what Tosfos holds. And Tosfos holds that the focus is not on the person that started the malacha, but rather on the person that does the haitzah, the movement of the item from Rosh Hashanah to Rosh Hashanah. So when the Balabais lifted it up, and then the Balabais extended his hand outwards, and the Ani did the Hanacha, the focus is on the Balabais, because he's the one that moved it from Rosh Hashanah to Rosh Hashanah. However, when the Balabais lifted it up, he did the Akira. But the Ani is the one that did the Haitzah and the Hanacha. Then we focus on the Ani, because he did the act of Haitzah, removing it from one Rosh to another. He's lacking an important part of it, the component, the Akira, but he's the one that did the Malacha of Haitzah, just lacking a detail. So let's look at the cases once again and see. In this case, the focus would be on the Ani, the poor man, because he's the one that did the Haitzah. And in this case, the focus would be on the Balabais, because he did the Haitzah. We don't look at the Akira, we look at the Haitzah. So let's see now the Tosfos itself, now that we have that information. The Gemara didn't accept the explanation that in Shavuos it only counts Ovis, Haitzah, and it includes cases of Chayiv and cases of Pater. Says Tosfos, Rashi over here didn't present his opinion in a way that fits with what he explains later on, and what he explains on the Mishnah as well, that the focus is on the one who did the Akira. According to Rashi later on, and again, according to Rashi in the Mishnah, both cases of Pater, the Pater is the focus on the Balabais. Tosfos had a girsa in Rashi, and actually you could see it in ours as well. It says Shel Ani. it's the poor man. According to Rashi, by the Hatzah, where they did together, the focus is always on the rich man. He's the one that lifts it up, and then the ani finishes it. Either he finishes it by taking it out and putting it down, or the Balabayas did more of it, and all the ani does is the hanacha, putting it down. But the akira is always going to be on the Balabayas. And there's a girsa of Rashi that says that one of them is for the ani.